This camera is too good for social media. In my 20 years as a professional photographer, I've never seen anything like it. And more importantly, I've never felt anything like it, both in terms of image quality and in physical use. Going to Iceland with the Hasselblad, I thought this was going to be a simple 15-minute sponsored video about a camera and a lens, but as you can see, we really got into it. So sit back and put this one on a larger screen because you're in for something special. Well, this is a nice start. I guess we can just go home and get the noon flight home because this is ridiculous. Look at this. I'm gonna do a little f4, ISO 64, and I'm getting the road as it goes through there. Darn, does this look nice. Perfect reflection on the lake. This is one of those 360 things that you can point in any direction, and every direction is an amazing photo. Iceland, it's pretty nice here. On this trip, I have two cameras with me, the Hasselblad 907x, as well as the film Hasselblad 503CW. I'm gonna be shooting them both throughout this video, but there will be a full dedicated film photography video over on the film channel, 503CW. That looks really nice. So I have two lenses on the digital body, the 55, and on the older film body, we have a 60. Yeah. Back in Iceland, the Hasselblad 907x. Big sense of big landscape. Let's go home and make some pancakes. Lingonberry jam, cause this camera is Swedish. No people in our landscapes. We don't really need them, no. No bananas in our pancakes. But we eat them when we drive slow. 100 megapixels. Let the details pop. Medium format, sitting right at the top. It's pretty ridiculous out here. Iceland is always a mystery because you come in and you have some photos that you think you're gonna get, and then you never get those photos, but you end up at locations like this and get something that was completely unexpected. Shout out Cole Roberts for scouting this location. Portrait 400, don't love it in 35, but I do like it a lot in medium format. I'm not sure why it's different, or if it is different and it's just, maybe I'm doing my 35mm photography wrong. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I really enjoy Portrait 400 medium format. When the arrows are together, time to put it in the camera. There's no light meter in this film camera. If you attach the digital back to this, it actually just becomes a digital camera. But for today, I have my guess that it's gonna be 250 at f11. Let's see how close I am. 250 f13 at 400 ISO. I'm gonna overexpose it by doing f11 and waist level viewfinder, very nice. And I'm gonna get rid of any signs that we've been here because I drove through the scene, unfortunately. I really came prepared for winter. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, remove the dark slide.
5.
And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the nicest sounding shutter, I think, of any of the film cameras that I have. All right, onwards. I thought I brought too much film, but it's gonna turn out we're not gonna have enough film for this trip. And this is perfect. Could you ask for anything more perfect? Tim's shaking his head, he says no. If there was an Arby's here, Tim would be more excited. Welcome to our beach vacation. It's impossibly nice out here. If you, there's the chart where you get to pick, like, you can only have 3 things. I feel like today we got all of them, that it's just fine. It's like +2 Celsius right now. Sunny, good light in the morning, Hasselblads in our hands, hot dogs in our hands soon, HOT DOGS. The only thing I didn't bring was proper footwear because I was in Majorca. My lenses are wider than I anticipated when I stopped all the way back there. We could have easily driven down to the beach. I'm gonna let it choose. Usually I lock my white balance to shade. I am going to let the genius of the Hasselblad decide that decision for me today. I'm gonna try the sun at f30, what is it, 32? Oh yeah, you get that nice starburst. So it's a leaf shutter, so your shutter is actually in the lens here. And because of that technology, you get some pretty dramatic starbursts. A bit of a boring one right here, but hopefully a little bit later in the day, we're gonna get something a little bit more dramatic to use that starburst effect. So the reason that I shoot both film and digital is because I like the mystery of film, that I think I know what I'm doing, and most of the time I do know what I'm doing, but some of the time I don't know what I'm doing, and it turns out better than I ever would have expected. And then digital, you just know you got it. That's the pristine, incredible image, and film will always have some incredible character to it. And film lenses also have some unique and interesting characteristics as well. And you might notice that this film back here looks a lot like that digital back. They look pretty much the same, right?
Yes.
And that's because I can take the digital 100 megapixel back off this camera here, and I can put it on my film camera. So I could only technically bring this. I could have a film back and I could swap to digital, so I could do my film photo, put the back on. Today I'm gonna shoot them independently, but maybe tomorrow we'll switch it up. We'll get crazy. I'm out of film. So switching to this. And I like the natural contrast of the blue house up there. And it's also kind of situated to rule of thirds. It's also a walking trail. People like to know that people have walked there. They feel safe. Safety in this photo. Safety to the house. Hasselblad. All right, we've been encountering some unusual weather out here in Iceland today. And I don't know what this is, just some sort of haze. But with the frosted tips like Guy Fieri over here, I feel like it's gonna make some good photos. So let's go into Flavortown together with a Hasselblad. Oh yeah, bud. I'm gonna bring my f-stop down to 2.5 so I get that really nice shallot at the field since I'm focused on something that's a little closer. Everyone's driving by being like, these guys are puking. They had a hard night in Reykjavik last night. All right, we're gonna go to f22 because I want this foreground element, but I also want it crispy in the back there. Look at how ridiculous this is out here. So cool. Again, not what we intended to get out here in Iceland, but super incredibly happy. Really strong natural contrast, negative space out here. What a unique scene. People are gonna be like, where is that? How do I go find that? And it existed only for probably the next 25 minutes because it's getting hot. All this is gonna melt. It's gonna look super dumb. Today is maybe the first time ever I'm doing the sunny 16 rule. And what that means is that your shutter speed is your ISO. So 1/400 shutter, 400 ISO film, set it at 16, and you're probably gonna be pretty close. Oh, that sun looks so good through this waist level viewfinder. We are suspending our photography activities in search of Icelandic hot dogs. And here it is. It's kind of half in the shade. It's not quite the shot, but the hot dog is gonna be amazing. And the fixins is where it really takes it to magic. All right, let's go get a hot dog and get back on the road. HOTDOGS. For you. Oh, you don't have a hand.
Coffee.
Vote for me. It's a beautiful thing out here in Iceland. Hasselblad, hot dog. So So we were drawn to this pile of rocks. This morning, some guy came in and built this for us. Bad light, black and white. Put that in a rainbow graphic. I think this still works in color, but even though it's a bit of a joke, basically what you're dealing with is this huge amount of contrast when it is a blue sky day. Sky is blue, there's nothing going on there. Black and white sometimes simplifies the image and makes it a little bit better, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's photography. So the Hasselblad that I have here, you'll notice that there is in fact no card in this camera, and that is because there is 1 terabyte of internal memory, which I love a lot. And you just plug this in through this really clever USB-C hole. You don't see it there, and then you plug the cable in and the door goes away, and you can just use it as a hard drive and just download your photos. Really like that a lot. Make sure you're using a fast USB-C cable, not just one for a random GoPro charger or something. Make sure it's the one that either comes with this or something that transfers a lot of data really quick. And if you are used to a 35mm style full frame camera, a 55mm lens is actually going to be closer to a 40mm lens on the traditional full frame because of the sensor here. It's a lot bigger. And it's also, I'm not gonna call it open gate, but you get more of a square image than you would if you're shooting a regular mirrorless camera. On the front here, you'll see that the shutter button is actually up front. So it's very ergonomic when you're taking pictures like this. And there's a wheel underneath it. So I have my camera set to aperture priority mode. So as I move the wheel, change the aperture. And then if I want exposure compensation, I press this small button down here. Also, this camera just looks and feels amazing. And I hold this button and now my wheel is exposure compensation. That's kind of it for the physical buttons there. On the back here, you have your regular menu options. It's also touch control, so you can swipe to reveal your menu. You have your playback and your on and off button. Simple. Menu system, also incredibly simple. Really like that a lot. Used to dealing with much more challenging menu systems from all the other brands. I've never taken the battery out of this camera either. I just charge it USB-C, transfer everything USB-C. Makes your life really easy. Wish all cameras did something like that. See the USB-C door? You can't see it. Where is it? But you plug USB-C in. Nice, right? Make sure you use that fast cable to get the fast speeds because the files, you're shooting 100 megapixel files, so they're a little bit larger than you might be used to. We're gonna have to look at the spec sheet, but this might be unicorn leather. Well, I'm definitely shooting a lot more film than I expected to. I think it's just the conditions are so nice out here that I wanna do both. And the mystery of film is that you don't know what it looks like, so you don't know if you're doing a good job or a bad job, and it becomes very addictive. This is the shot that all the YouTube boys are gonna lose their minds for. X-Pan. I can hear them all barking. There's an X-Pan mode. So the X-Pan is one of my favorite film cameras ever made. X-Pan 2, we brought out here, brought to Banff National Park, had an amazing time. You can enable X-Pan mode in this camera here. And what it does is it basically just crops it out. So you're just shooting a very nice panorama, very nice sensor, very nice lens. And I feel like this is the X-Pan shot. I don't want too much sky. I don't want any of the foreground here. I just want that nice cinematic, impossibly cinematic. And I think that one worked out okay. I like Iceland because the weather is so volatile that it's always crazy. Except for today, it's beautiful. And one other film photography road trip we did here, we had 10 days of sun. We were in shorts and t-shirts at the end of it. This is really comfortable. I come here to get ice in my face. I want the ice, I want the treacherous conditions. I want it to be hard because that makes for better YouTube, but today it's easy. It's nice, we should just go get a beer, call it a day. 48 hours in Iceland. Onward. And after those incredible high kicks, we're off to an even more exciting destination. At the end of this road, we saw it on the way in, my Spotify Wrapped artist, #1. We're gonna go visit her welcome center. We're not gonna fact check it, I'm just gonna assume that it's hers. Got that X-Pan mode. YouTube boys barking. Wow. Very relaxing, right? Okay. Exiting X-Pan mode. Going back to regular. That's nice. That's why you need 100 megapixels. Get that moon. Need that moon crop. Hasselblad first camera on the moon. What a segue. Still up there? They leave it or they bring it home?
They left it.
They left it? The black one? And here we are at the Lauvi Welcome Center. Think it's hers? It's gotta be, right? Two of my favorite artists, maybe even top fives, are from Iceland, Sigur Rós and Lauvi, #1 Spotify Wrapped. It's kind of remarkable for a country with a population that's not a lot of people. And we're also not gonna fact check this. If this isn't her welcome center, if that's just a common name, we're gonna ignore that and I'm gonna pretend forever that it's hers. Maybe there's pictures of her inside. Maybe we can verify this. There's none of her merch here, so it does sell out pretty quickly, but maybe we'll get this puffin bottle opener instead. Lauvi is coming in strong with her revolving toilets though. This is encroaching on Japanese levels of technology up here. Like this seems like a lot for, is this after every guest?
So you can,
look at this.
Do you want how you can do this?
This is crazy. That's too much. En route to Skogafoss, but I think the light isn't quite right. It will be on evenly lighting, so maybe that works. That'll work for a film shot for sure. We might have to come back on our way through tomorrow morning to get a better shot of Skogafoss. Quick detour. No Skogafoss yet. We're headed to the besides Skogafoss waterfall that's less busy, and in my opinion, it's prettier. We're not gonna go all the way in. We're gonna stop. There's a rock that I got a photo of my friend Alex and Kinsey up on. I'm gonna get that rock with no Alex and Kinsey this time. On both digital and film, Hasselblad. Oh, there's horses out here. Cinematic. Let me tell you about the Hasselblad 907x. What are your feelings on the X-Pan crop format?
I actually really like to use landscape scene, and I would definitely recommend.
You heard it here first. We have discovered some icicles in the wild, and they're majestic. Very fortunate to have 100 megapixels here to crop into that, because that's a nice scene. And I did not come prepared with a lens to photograph icicles up close at this distance. That's a photo that I wouldn't have taken if it was on film. I wasn't that committed to it, but I thought it might be nice. Here we are at Skogafoss, and as expected, it's very busy. We're here kind of in the worst light, or maybe not the worst light for the waterfall, because the light is on the waterfall. We could do a really long exposure and make all the jackets disappear, or we could just look at it with our eyes. Take a picture and then continue on our way, come back maybe on the way. Gotta drive through here tomorrow morning, so maybe in the morning we'll come by, see what it looks like, and take a better picture then. So imagine it with no people and just nice flowing water in that foreground. I think it'll be okay. But I also think that this waterfall has been photographed 20,000 times today only. So I don't know if it's necessary for us to also capture it. We could get, it's important to capture the landmarks, things people know, but I feel like most of the images I've enjoyed the most have been the ones that have been the in-between locations, such as the bog, what is it, the swamp weeds?
Swamp weed.
Cinematic swamp weeds. That was a nice one. This, very great to look at. Back on that X-Pan crop to make the YouTube boys bark. And we're gonna go over here. Looks a little hazy though. I don't know if it's gonna be a 10 out of 10. This might be another location we come back to tomorrow morning. It's kind of nice that we get to scout through, and it's going to be kind of the same day, but the sun's gonna be obviously in a different spot. Bit of an interesting composition. It is just a 45-degree line of the waves going through the frame. I think it's nice. A little too hazy out there right now. Still a nice photo. It's kind of one of those spots you can't really photograph properly. But it looks real nice in real life. looks like I have an ND filter on and I've tripoded, but what's actually happened is that the ice is just frozen. Here we are approaching the house. I'm going to do a film photo first. How close should I get? Oh, this is, I'm gonna take it because I think it's really nice, but I'm absolutely too far away with this. Fortunately, we have 100 megapixels, and I'm actually gonna get back up here away from the fence a little bit. And this is gonna be a crop for sure. Oh yeah, that's darn nice. That's it. That's an X-Pan crop. That's so nice. Is this an X-Pan crop? Is everything an X-Pan crop? Is that an X-Pan crop? They got a dog in that car. Never mind, it was just a big hat. Well, this is fun. See you next scene. The snow from over here kind of frames the scene in this direction, which is interesting. So you got green coming in here and snow going out that way. I feel like that works. And then behind me is just another ridiculous vista. It's like the perfect Iceland day. Who would have thought? We finally got it. Coming here for like 15 years. So a scene like this has a lot going on in terms of dynamic range and colors and everything. This camera here has 16-bit raw photography, which is awesome because there's a lot going on in this scene in terms of dynamic range and in terms of colors and everything I want to keep. So I'm underexposing a little bit and bringing it up in post. And with 16-bit, I have a lot of leverage in post-production. Make it look like whatever you want. You want to make it look like this? Don't do that. But you can make it look like this. And it's nice. It's so nice. Look at the grass, it's nice. Defender, it's been good. Iceland's smallest waterfall, let's go get it. I like it because my shadow's in it. And I don't think there's a way for me to avoid getting my shadow, and so I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna wave. All right, let's go and get swept up by some sneaker waves. Yeah, this will be a tomorrow location. We're gonna come back tomorrow. It's pretty much sunset is crazy here. If you come to any location like this in the morning, no one's gonna be here yet. So we'll come back tomorrow, do some shots of the space dongs, and it's gonna be better. Hopefully the weather is the same. If it is, it's gonna be crazy. 2 for 2. That one's my mystery film photo of the day, which means it's going to turn out to be the best, I'm sure. Should I cinematically walk into frame and pose like this, and then put this up like this? We came up to the church in Vic, and right now, church location, I don't think it's working. We're on the shadow side of the church, it's not popping, there's people out there. So I think in the morning we might come up here and see how it's looking. Even blue hour, if there's some lights on. Here we are back outside. We're gonna photograph these over here in the partial sunset. You don't really get any light on the front of your subject, so we're not gonna have nice saturations. We're gonna go get that in the morning. All right, well, we made some friends up here, so let's go hang out with our boys. It's getting pretty dark, so I'm gonna go down to f4. I'm gonna try to stay at 64 ISO. It's a wider shot, but I'm really happy with that. I'm just tall enough standing on this rock to get a little bit of water, and that is what's making this photo work. If it was only beach and the columns coming out of the beach, not so good, but that little bit of water really pulls it all together. Let's go see some lava. It's goopy, but it's frozen goop. It's a cool little city shot. The light's not balancing quite right, but it looks okay. How about this way? That one's not so good.
Are very good at producing them. As the lava jumps and this has a structure on its own, and then for some reason the liquid lava inside to escape.
Good morning from the Black Sand Beach. I promised you we'd come back. Today we're blessed with the moon over top of a glacier. It's amazing, but Tim and I did not bring a lens that is longer than 50 millimeters, unfortunately. So we just have to experience it with our eyes. We're gonna go photograph the space donks first, and then we're gonna point this way and photograph, I don't know, everything looks cool out here today. This is day 2 of best luck in Iceland, so we can never come back here because it'll never be as good. That's a quote from Lost in Translation. Ho ho, lava sand. That's Icelandic for sand made from lava. We got 2 decisions to make right now. Do I include the pillars over here, or do I focus a little bit more on the water? I don't know the answer. I'm gonna shoot this first real quick. All right, some 1-second exposures here. f4. That looks nice. So usually in this situation, I'd actually set a self timer. So if I was using a top button, I would have maybe a 2-second timer. So I'd hit the timer and my camera would stabilize. The ergonomics of having this front button, I feel like are nice. You just give the camera a little squeeze, a 1-second exposure. You got it. All right, I'm gonna change my focus. So in the focus menu, I'm gonna set my focus to touch. So here, we're gonna turn on touch. So now, when I go back to my monitor, I can just touch the thing that I wanna focus on. If you have the side grip, you get a little joystick. That's also an option. Now we wait for the waves to come in. Had some scenes with natural contrast before, but I feel like this might be the most natural contrast that I've had in a scene. It's very nice. I'm walking with my camera on a tripod like this, so UK photographer Jeff Askoff will make fun of me. I'm kidding, I love you, Jeff. So we're packing up, and the photography tour has just arrived, so get to locations earlier than you expect. Just the way the morning gradient hits this is really nice. So I'm still on a 1-second exposure, f3.4. Everything's far enough away that it's should be mostly in focus, but it really does look like it's a bit of an ice cave. And I'm gonna tap there. That's my focus point. Getting some really unique light bouncing into this scene. So usually this just looks all gray, f4.3 of a second. ISO 400 still. I think it is, it's bright enough that we're going handheld now. I think I'm happy with the exposures that I have of the water, and I'm going back to the place where I feel comfortable, which is just pointing camera at stuff. It actually feels kind of nice with the tripod plate there too. I'm gonna get a photo of all the photographers on the beach here though. An X-Pan photo. Should I do it in X-Pan? I feel like that's what they want, you know? Beautiful. Was this another X-Pan opportunity? Oh yeah, sure, brother. I've been staring at this sign that goes left and right in front of these mountains for several years now. But I've never been out here early enough to just stop in a safe place and go and get the shot. We're about 10 minutes too late because there's a little too much light on the glacier in the back, but it's okay. Delivering on more promises that we promised you yesterday and coming back to the Vic Church at the exact optimal timing, which is very rare. Gonna do a little film shot first. 5.6, 250. While the files are good, it is important to stay at your lowest ISO when possible. So nice. A little f22 with the sun. Does it look cool?
Good.
This is done. We've done it. Remarkable morning here. This was supposed to be B-roll, but the best angle I think is right here. In honor of the Swedish heritage of Hasselblad, I stopped at the airport in Sweden and I picked up a Swedish cinnamon bun. It's my first one ever. Wow. That's very nice. You should try. I got one for Tim too. This week's challenge is to photograph a cloud. We haven't done it yet. Don't follow me. This week, we run a 5K with the Hasselblad. All right, here we go. We're flipping to X-Pan mode once again. Tim has requested it. He wants a print of this on his wall at home. This random road. We did it.
Where you said it, see it?
Cloud update. It has now been 3 hours and we still have not seen another cloud. I think I would like a cloud now. Not tonight though, only daytime clouds accepted.
Why no tonight?
Because tonight we will see the northern lights, but there is a moon out all evening. And if you do any astrophotography, you know a moon, you can sometimes use it, but a lot of the time you want no moon so that everything is as crisp, you get those crisp stars. But unfortunately, tonight we have a moon, so the northern lights have to put on an extra special show, which it does appear that at least statistically or solarly they're supposed to do. Very high probability tonight, but again, they have to be brighter than the moon in order to show us their skills. It's a Northern Light skills competition tonight. Yeah, man, lava's not getting over that. I can't climb that either. Welcome to the new Blue Lagoon. Tourism doesn't stop even when nature tries to reclaim your luxury hotel and spa. Behind me, you'll see the lava wall that they built to keep the lava out. It seems to be working so far. And it's a little bit weird staying at a hotel with a Blue Lagoon geothermal hot tub when you know that there are lava eruptions near. So when it gets hot, you feel a little Dante's Peak. Nevertheless, we are staying here, but we now park inside the wall. The old parking lot, I think, got swallowed by lava a few months ago. So the original parking lot, if you've been here, just doesn't exist anymore. This is the new parking lot right here with some emergency generators, some temporary lighting, a bunch of machinery. One of the positives is that I feel like they're operating at about 25% capacity. So if you've ever wanted to come to Blue Lagoon and not be surrounded by people, it might be the time to do it as long as you're okay with being on a half-hour emergency evacuation order. I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see some northern lights. It's gonna be good. Hasselblad 907x. So we checked into the hotel, and the bad news is it came with, in the event of evacuation card, because they're on high alert once again. The good news is, I brought another treat from Sweden.
What is this?
Tim and I are gonna share some of this. I don't know if I can consume the entire bar we leave tomorrow, but we'll try. We'll do our best.
I'm the test rabbit.
Enjoy.
I get the whole thing.
Here I have camera bed for the Hasselblads and sleeping bed. And whatever that is, that kind of weirds me out a bit. Let's go for a walk, take some film photos, some digital photos. It's sunny out. I figure that the Blue Lagoon water is the bluest when the sun is out and the sky is blue. We did find a new spot on the way in. So one of the other benefits of being in some danger is that they built new platforms for evacuation so cars can get around in better ways, but also for better photography, specifically of the Blue Lagoon. You'll never guess it, but it's another X-Pan photo. We're gonna move out of X-Pan mode for the time being, and we're gonna walk cinematically past this glass wall. We're here on the filming location of Scandinavian Severance. Right? Was that a good joke? Should I do another joke instead? We've seen some really good northern lights from this specific spot, but now rather than a landscape with mountains, you're gonna see a fortified lava wall. I didn't really expect that. Yeah, there's like 25 cars at Blue Lagoon. We should go use the main one too. The cloud. Nice. The photography pose of the day, right there. We're correct, this is the best Blue Lagoon vantage point because you get the water, you get the mountain, you get the sky. Everything looks real nice today. It was worth the walk. It was a big hike, almost 0.2 of a kilometer. And I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna take the picture. Oh, this is like really nice. I hope we get the southern lights because the southern lights from this point would be, while also interesting, it's not really that interesting at all, actually. I'll just have to put the camera so far on the ground that you just see foreground only in sky. We have a film photo here, and I think it's really nice. This is the most activity we've seen at Blue Lagoon, and also the least, like, usually it's just, you could never do this because there'd just be hundreds of cars always passing and buses and taxis on the shoulder. But today, it's super chill. So we have Iceland's biggest rapids at Blue Lagoon. And we're gonna get a few photos of this, and I'm gonna try to get everything in focus. 1, 2, 3. The interesting thing with this camera, so this is the film camera, obviously, and you couple your shutter speed and your f-stop together, and that means that you kind of make the overall exposure at, if you meter it at 5.6, f5.6, and you're like, the shutter speed is 1/25th of a second. As you move this ring, the f-stop and the shutter speed are actually stuck together, and what that means is that as you go to f22, your shutter speed gets slower, it expands your depth of field, and it keeps the exposure the exact same. It means you have to use this little button on the side here in order to switch them up. Quick shout out to the 55mm V because it's the perfect focal length to get the entire mountain in there. It's just perfect, every shot out here. Thumbs up. nice. So we're here, basically today a huge solar storm starts for the next week, and the sun isn't even set yet, or it's set, but it's still ambient twilight, and it's getting crazy. There's like a tornado over here of northern lights. I set a 2-second timer, so it waits 2 seconds before it goes off, and then it does an 8-second exposure at f2.5, and that's gonna be too much. It's getting too bright. It's the most positive problem. I brought you a beer.
Thanks, brother.
And because I brought an improper lens here, I'm just going to do only photos of the sky and make nice little paintings of the Northern Lights experience tonight. If I had a wider lens, Hasselblad makes wider lenses, I would probably use it tonight. I've also set this lens to manual focus, so you pull the focus ring forward, it unveils your manual controls, and I'm set to infinity, and it looks really nice. My goal is basically to get enough of exposure time in terms of seconds to let enough light in at a low aperture in order to get my ISO to as low as possible, because I know I'm gonna have to work on these files a lot more than I would just a regular landscape. And I'm gonna have to do a little bit more to the files, not at any fault of Hasselblad, but the fact that it's just like an evening low light photo where you're kind of fooled a little bit. You can see kind of what you're doing on here, but you're always a little bit off. I sure wish I had a really wide lens, because it's a full 180 right now. And I'm taking a lot of frames because I want the lights to line up in the perfect spot, and maybe to give me a few different options in terms of the intensity as well as the number of stems that are going out into the sky. And then once we get this shot and I'm happy with it, we're gonna go over here because this also looks amazing, and I'm going to try to involve the Blue Lagoon reflecting Northern Lights, which might be a challenge. It's only a 55mm lens, but we'll see together. I'm very happy about this, and I wish the cars would go away. It's a very busy night at Blue Lagoon apparently at 9:30 p.m. I think I got that shot, so let's move over here and see what we can get up to. And there it is. 2 days in Iceland with this Hasselblad. Too good for social media. Really love the files. Looking at these on a large monitor, gonna make some big prints for a gallery coming up in September. And I want to say thank you for Hasselblad for sending this camera to us, as well as Tim for coming out to Iceland for literally 2 nights. I'll put a link down below to get some more information if you are interested in this camera, but it really is amazing and exceeded all of my expectations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.